Nah, ini sudah
Ada
jam
beberapa
1
orang.
tepat. Oke, kita buka berapapun pesertanya ya. Ini ada 6 total. Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang semuanya. Ini kayaknya agak delay suaranya. Jadi saya langsung bicara saja. Oke, sebelumnya kami ucapkan selamat bergabung peserta webinar pada hari ini, baik yang baru bergabung dengan kami ataupun yang sudah beberapa kali ataupun yang istiqomah mengikuti kegiatan kami setiap hari Sabtu. Pada hari ini Sabtu tanggal 16 Januari 2001 perkenalkan, nama saya Asif, saat ini berdomisili di Jakarta. Ingin menyampaikan beberapa hal. Mohon maaf, ini suara saya bisa didengar?
Kalau saya dengar bagus.
Oh, oke. Jadi saya dengar saja. Saat ini ingin menyampaikan beberapa hal ya. Pertama tentang tema kita pada hari ini yaitu komputer ergonomi. Komputer ergonomik ini nanti akan dibahas langsung oleh Bapak Hirman Karim selama 1,5 jam ke depan ya, di mana beliau ini adalah ahli safety dan sudah berpengalaman selama puluhan tahun di bidang safety ini. Jadi untuk kepakaran tentang ilmu safety ini tidak diragukan lagi ya beliau ini. Mungkin pengalamannya itu lebih lebih lama daripada umur saya, seperti itu kira-kira. Oke, mungkin yang perlu saya sampaikan juga untuk pelatihan online seperti ini, banyak hal yang menjadi kendala kita ya, terutama di masalah jaringan internet ya. Nah, untuk saat ini saja di tempat saya kebetulan agak kurang stabil gitu. Jadi saya harap Bapak Ibu sekalian bisa memaklumi ya, karena itu semua memang di luar dari kemampuan kita. Mungkin untuk mempersingkat waktu ya, karena waktu kita memang tidak banyak untuk membahas materi ini, dan saya rasa materi ini nanti akan sangat padat dan akan sangat menarik saya rasa ya, kalau tadi saya melihat materinya. Mungkin saya persilahkan ya, Pak Hirman Karim untuk memberikan penjelasannya mengenai komputer ergonomik ini. Silakan Pak Hirman.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Asif. Saya dengan Pak Asif ini bekerja sama sudah mungkin lebih 5 tahun sudah. Pak Asif ini kita punya markas di UI Bogor. Saya sendiri sebenarnya biasanya di Balikpapan, tapi saat ini saya sudah hampir 2 bulan di Bekasi karena lockdown. Ya, nothing I can do about that. Ya, this kind of force majeure. You know force majeure? Force majeure is a situation di mana situasi itu we cannot do anything. Ya, jadi force majeure, that's what we mean with force majeure. So we have to experience force majeure. Okay. Now let me introduce myself more for you to know myself. Saya lihat ini ya, I see Pak UI Indonesia, we are partners ya, Pak Uud sudah hadir. Ya, halo Pak Uud.
Halo Pak.
Ya. We need your participants to make comments and maybe asking questions, you know. In
Okay.
English. I prefer that in English. And that
Yes.
actually I'm still expecting, saya masih mengharapkan Miss Fuzna and Pak Bambang and Pak Karyan, I forgot the name.
Krishna Ayodhya.
Pak Krishna. Yeah. So we can speak in English and mix with bahasa Indonesia. Yeah, the question.
Okay, that's right.
Why not? Yeah. Okay, now that's what Pak Asif said. Yeah, Mas Asif. I call him Mas Asif.
Yeah.
I've been having too many kinds of experience. Ya, saya telah banyak jenis pengalaman saya, especially in safety. Ya, I took the safety course in Australia about 2 times. Yeah. Okay. Now I will share the screen. The time I will share the screen.
Okay.
That's enough for my introduction to you. Cukup untuk memperkenalkan diri saya kepada Anda yang belum kenal sama saya, ya, yang belum kenal. Saya di sini ada. Oke, kita harus mempersingkat waktu. Maybe a lot of talking, ya, banyak yang akan dibicarakan. I will share the screen. Ya, at the same time, ya, pada waktu yang sama, you can make question. You can ask me the question. Either in English or bahasa Indonesia. So you make your decision, buat keputusan sendiri. Okay. Have you seen my slides? Sudah dilihat slide saya?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. So you have the slide. So we are ready to go. Kita siap melanjutkan. Ya, we are ready to go. Okay.
Okay.
Balikpapan actually that our main office, you know, my real office, and then we have some branches on. Okay, PT Neskoda Utama Safety Pro, yeah, we call that. Alamat Jalan Bangki Raya Balikpapan ini. Okay, the subject we are going to discuss today is a computer ergonomics, yeah. But I will back to the basic of safety program before I go further, and then yeah. Membumikan undang-undang dan peraturan pemerintah tentang K3 di Indonesia. Ya, most of the time we prefer to discuss safety matters. Ya, kebanyakan waktu kita membahas masalah-masalah keselamatan kerja, but about the regulation and safety action from the government that we like to discuss, that to explain to participant of the training. Okay, so now we go ahead. Before we go further, sebelum kita lebih jauh, let's pray. Ya, doa kita, our prayers, ya, prayer to our greatest creature. Ya, doa kita kepada pencipta yang maha hebat. Okay, you can read also, you know, maybe Arabic or English or Indonesia. I will read for you, and I will read this for us. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oh my Lord, open my chest and ease my thirst for me. Remove the impediment from my speech, so that they may understand what I say. Ya. Jadi ya Tuhanku, lapangkanlah dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah dari lidahku, agar kita, saya ganti mereka itu dengan kita, agar kita mengerti perkataan di antara kita. Oke, amin, amin. Ya. So we go ahead. Okay, now we discuss about activities or process or pekerjaan or project or operasional. Itu semua sama itu, ya. So the activities berarti kegiatan, ya. And then process, that's a kegiatan, activities. And then pekerjaan, that process. Okay, and then our job, that's process. work. Ya, work itu proses, pekerjaan. Activities or process, job. Now, yeah, I hope you understand what I mean. So the next what? What is the next about this? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about this activities or process? Ya, apa yang Anda lakukan terhadap activities dan proses ini, atau pekerjaan, atau operasional? Apa yang Anda harus lakukan? Ya, you have to understand. You have to understand the standard operating procedure, how to carry out these activities, how to carry out the process, how to carry out your jobs. Ya, carry out artinya apa? Melaksanakan, melakukan. Jadi apa yang Anda butuhkan is SOP. Ya, how to carry out, bagaimana untuk melaksanakan these activities. Ya, okay. I hope you understand. Yeah. So we have to what we call this to gain the same perception of operational activities, process, and anything, something like that. Now, what we need next? What you need next is SOP, standard operating procedures. Yeah. Why? What this for? Standard operating procedure. What this for? Yeah. Yeah. Just bad luck. You know, we are not in the training face to face in the class. Because I usually ask the participants, you know, saya langsung tanya itu peserta, ya, what you can say, what you can explain about this standard operating procedure. Okay, let me explain more to you. Yeah, maybe most of you do understand this already. Yeah, maybe most of you knows what that SOP means, and then what does SOP the advantage of using this SOP. Okay, SOP will state apa ya, menyatakan ya, will state the steps from the first step, maksudnya dari langkah pertama to the last step, ya. Now how to it's noisy. Okay. SOP, standard operating procedure, it means the steps how to carry out the work, how to carry out the process. Yeah, for instance, like cooking rice. Yeah, who knows better than anyone else to cook rice? Yeah, so the SOP to cook rice, you ask your wife or you ask your mother. Yeah. So they know exactly how to decide what this SOP for cooking the rice. Okay. Now remember, SOP is the steps, yeah, to carry out, to implement or to do the work. SOP. Ya, langkah-langkah melakukan suatu pekerjaan. That's as simple as that. And then what else? On every step of this process, on every step of this activities, yeah, you be able atau you can analyze hazard at each step of this SOP, ya. Jadi dengan tahunya kita langkah-langkah dari SOP tadi dalam melakukan pekerjaan tertentu yang kita buat SOP-nya, ya, you will recognize, Anda akan mengenali, you will be able atau Anda akan bisa to identify hazard of every steps. Yeah, remember that. Yeah, like cooking rice, there are maybe about 10 steps, you know, to make the rice cooker and to make the rice cooker works, and then generate this rice, they cook rice. Okay, jadi every steps you have to analyze, ya. in case andai kata, in case there is hazard at each step or on a particular step, yeah, hazard. Yeah, now we are talking about hazard now. Yeah, hazard will be always there. Ya, bahaya itu akan selalu ada di sana at every steps of SOP. Namun bahaya ini ya hazard ada risikonya, dan risiko can be, the level of risiko can be high, can be medium, can be low. Ya, kita tetapkan risikonya tinggi, sedang, atau rendah. Oke, dari tiap-tiap step. Now what next? Setelah tahu kita bahaya, if you know already the hazard at each step of SOP, you know already hazard at each step of SOP, you analyze it, and then you manage the risk. Yeah. Manage the risk. Ya, manage the risk, it means Anda kelola risiko dari bahaya tadi. Ya, bahaya tadi harus dilihat risikonya dan dinilai. Ya, you assess the risk. Maybe the risk is very high, intolerable, soalnya tidak bisa ditoleransi, tidak bisa ditoleransi. Or maybe medium, maybe low, maybe very low. So now, so it's tolerable to leave it that hazard. Membiarkan aja bahaya itu dengan risikonya yang kecil, ya. Maka tidak perlu, you don't need to apply control. Oke, next. Jadi proses yang di atas ya, all this process, activities or process, activities, job, work must have SOP, standard operating procedure, the list of this activity, the list of the steps ya, daftar dari steps, langkah-langkah, and then GSA, this analysis for each step for hazard and step. Ya. And then we call all these processes hazard identification, risk assessment, and control. This is the basic program for safe working, Yeah. So if you fail to identify hazard, apabila Anda gagal mengenali bahaya, Anda akan tahu risikonya apa. Dan risikonya tentu tidak dinilai, karena bahayanya tidak dikenali, bagaimana mengenal risikonya. Kalau tidak tahu tidak bisa mengenali tingkat risikonya, sudah jelas kontrolnya tidak bisa dilaksanakan. Now wait for the accident happens. Ya, wait for the accident happen. If you fail to identify hazard, and you fail, of course you will fail to assess the risk, and then you will never apply control. That's it. That's the basic program of safety. Yeah, the basic safety program. Okay. Now back to, if you talk about hazard, now we have been talking about hazard, right? Kita telah bicara mengenai hazard, potential workplace hazard, ya. Bahaya potensial di tempat kerja, bahaya tempat kerja yang berpotensi. Ya. Oke, bahaya tempat kerja yang potensi. Nah, apa bahayanya? Fisik relates to kinetic, relates to bodily injury, ya, cedera terhadap tubuh manusia, cedera terhadap pendengaran, ke mata, ke sistem tubuh dalam, ya. We can say that hazard of physics, ya, atau kinetic hazard, ya, itu number one. And the next is electric hazard, bahaya elektrik, ya. And you know everywhere, especially at home, electric hazard can cause fire, can cause inferno, ya. That's maybe in Indonesia, maybe nearly twice a day there is a fire. Ada kebakaran minimal hampir 2 kali satu hari di Indonesia, seluruh Indonesia ada kebakaran. Ya, that's electric. Electric cause fire.
Herman,
Yes.
do you mind if I invite my friend to join here?
Yes, why not? That's good.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call them.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, now the next is heat, ya, panas, ya, or fire. That's also hazard, ya, itu juga bahaya. And then number 4 is chemical. Yeah. Chemical, this we call that bahan beracun yang berbahaya, B3, ya, we call that in Indonesia, ya, chemical, ya, can be dangerous goods, ya, dangerous good, dangerous something like, yeah, chemical, because it can cause the accident. Number 5 is biology hazard. Now, biology hazard, this corona, yeah, they said that's including in this biology hazard. Biology hazard like ular, tawon, nyamuk, lipas, what else? Like tikus, you know, that mice, rats, yeah. Any animal, any insect, yeah, insect that cause you sick, suffering from serious sick, yeah, that can be biology hazard, ya, hazard akibat dari biologi, ya, and sometimes biology hazard, ya, can be something like apa, tumbuh-tumbuhan, ya, you know, tumbuh-tumbuhan di hutan sana, ya, can be very dangerous, ya, tumbuh-tumbuhan yang beracun or something like that. Now number 6, now this is the one we are going to discuss for 1.5 hours, according to Mas Asif, ergonomic hazard. Now, what is ergonomic? Now we will focus to this ergonomic for the next season, for the next explanation. Okay, if there is hazard, yeah, if there are hazard, there are 6 kind of hazard. There must be risk. Yeah. Now, well, so risk is different with hazard. Bahaya dengan risiko itu berbeda. Risiko, risk, ya, this is combination of severity, keparahan, dengan likelihood. Ya, we are not going to discuss in detail about this risk. Ya, just what I like to inform you. Ya, apa yang ingin saya sampaikan. Ya, after hazard, there must have risk. Ada risk di sana, ada risiko. Ya, and then what else we can do? This risk must be managed. Yeah, this risk we have to manage the risk. Yeah, we have to manage the risk because before we manage the risk, we have to make assessment to the risk. Yeah, maybe the risk because of this hazard is very high. The level is very high. Yeah, intolerable, tidak bisa ditolerir risikonya. For instance, fatality. Yeah, maybe multiple fatality. Maybe the risk is cause the fire, the inferno. You know inferno? Yeah, kebakaran yang hebat. Yeah, the level of the risk is very high. You know that when you know that, that's the time when you make assessment. Assessment, there is a method how to assess this. This we will discuss in different session. Ya, kita akan membahas ini assessment ini di sesi yang lain. Tidak cukup untuk membahas untuk komputer ergonomi ergonomis ini. Oke. Nah, so the risk must be managed. Ya. Jadi resikonya harus di manage, dikelola. Ya. Sudah itu setelah di risk di assessment, kita akan tahu level dari risiko dari suatu pekerjaan. Ya, the risk from the hazard of the activities we are doing. Ya, maybe the level of the risk is high, maybe medium, maybe low. Ya, sometimes 5 different levels. Ya, kadang-kadang perusahaan punya 5 different levels, 5 level yang berbeda. Ya, very high. Okay, now we are not going to discuss. Okay, the next. After you know the risk, ya, setelah kita kenali resiko, bahaya dari bentuk pekerjaan yang akan dilakukan. Nah, ini just remember that ya. This we are doing this before we comment, before we start the work ya. Jadi jangan lupa apa ini konsep hitung-hitungan ini, program ini dilakukan semua itu sebelum melakukan pekerjaan, apapun bentuk pekerjaannya. Apalagi kalau cenderung sudah sangat risky, sangat beresiko. Ya, kita harus lakukan ini sampai ke tahap ini. Ya, so number one, bahaya fisik ya. That can be walking at high, apa namanya, di ketinggian ya, di ketinggian bekerja, mungkin 50 meters above the ground, ya, or maybe 100 meter above the ground. Jadi itu masuk number one bahayanya. Okay, so we do this management. We have to manage the risk. We have to assess the risk, yeah, before we start working, before we start the process, before we start the operational, before we start the job. Remember that, ya. Jadi setelah kita manage risiko, setelah kita assess risikonya, maka kita tahu ada 3 level, at least 3 level, high, medium, and low. Okay, now next, apply, terapkan. What are we going to apply? So, what are we going to apply? Apa yang akan kita terapkan supaya safe, supaya selamat? Control. Ya, so remember that. Ya, six hazard, ada 6 bahaya, and then we have 6 control. Ini kebetulan ya, ini kebetulan aja jumlahnya, mungkin bisa lebih ya, tergantung ya. Kontrol situ bisa lebih, dan bahaya juga ya, bisa juga lebih 6. Jadi bukan ada hubungannya nih ya, nomor 1 harus 1, 6, 3 harus 3, 4, 5, tidak ya. This does the hierarchy ya. Hierarki, kontrol ini harus dalam bentuk hierarki. Ya, what does it mean? What is the meaning of a hierarchy? Yeah, unfortunately, we are not in the class that you have to answer my question. Yeah, okay. Hierarchy, you have to apply number 1 first, elimination. Yeah, you know the meaning of elimination, the control. Elimination, it means you remove. Maybe you remove the work. Pekerjaan rencana yang mau dikerjakan setelah tahu kita risikonya tinggi kali, maka dia mungkin substitution, mengganti, mungkin isolation. Nah, isolation is just like corona, ya, menjaga jarak. Ya, many things we can use the isolation control. Itu engineering control. Engineering control it mean dengan hitung-hitungan kayak safety factor, ya, safety factor for loading ya, pembebanan ya, itu safety factor to engineering control. Now administration is like protokol corona, that's administration. Sudah itu PPE, masker, that's personal protective equipment. Okay, I think that's enough for this one. So we will now the next we will concentrate in our topic, yaitu apa namanya nih, ergonomics hazard apa ya. Okay, next, computer ergonomics. Yeah, now we are going to focus on this. Unless you have question now, anybody wants to ask me question either in bahasa Indonesia or in English, you are welcome. Ya, Mas Asif, ada yang mau tanya enggak?
Silahkan bagi yang ingin bertanya, atau mungkin bertanya, Pak, ini saya nggak paham karena bahasa Inggris, ya silakan. Atau kalau nggak ada mungkin berarti bahasa Inggris semua paham saya Pak.
Okay, good.
Okay, continue. Apa? Next.
Okay.
How to say it?
Continue. Yes, we
Okay.
continue this. We will continue this.
Okay.
Computer ergonomics. Yeah. Okay. Computer ergonomic. You know, you see this. What do we call this? Nah, this one. Okay. Now, this man may be feeling painful. Ya, lengannya tuh merasa sakit, painful. Ya, because of this computer ergonomics. Yeah, and then the next, this guy is trying to destroy the computer because the computer caused the painful for the man, something like that. Okay, that's funny. Okay. Nah, Undang-Undang 1970 Basic Requirement Safety Program, ya. Bab 3. Syarat-syarat keselamatan kerja pasal 3, ya. This Undang-Undang nomor 1 1970, it means about 50 years ago. Ya. 50 years ago. Maybe before you were born, sebelum Anda pada lahir. Ya. Tapi tidak terlalu bermanfaat saya lihat karena tidak ada yang memastikan undang-undang ini jalan di perusahaan-perusahaan. Sehingga biasa aja orang yang kebakaran, meninggal kena peledakan, terjadi di pertambangan di mana-mana, terjadi kecelakaan yang besar, yang berat. Okay. Now we forget about that. Nah, di bab 3 syarat-syarat keselamatan kerja, safety requirement pasal 3 di Undang-Undang 1 1970, nama M, memperoleh keserasian antara tenaga kerja, alat kerja, lingkungan, cara dan proses kerjanya. So this relates to us who are using computer. Okay, so if you are operating a computer, ya, Anda harus mendapatkan keserasian, ya, between you and tools, alat kerja, ya, komputer the tools, we can call it tools, ya, alat kerja. And then lingkungan, the way how you sit, the way how you position, bagaimana Anda berposisi, dan cara proses kerjanya, ya. That's what do you call that? The true that we are going to discuss. Ya, sudah memperoleh keserasian antara tenaga kerja, antara Anda dengan alat komputer Anda. Oke, next week terus saja cepat. And then the next is PP nomor 50 tahun 2012 sistem manajemen K3 SMK 3. Ya, elemen 9, sub elemen 1, and then kriteria 1. Terdapat prosedur untuk mengidentifikasi bahaya dan menilai risiko yang berhubungan dengan penanganan secara manual dan mekanis. Ya, berhubungan dengan penanganan secara manual dan mekanis. Okay, maybe it's a little bit blur, you know, but I think this remind us. Ini mengingatkan kita, ya, bahaya harus dikenalin, must be identified, and then the risk must be assessed, ya, relates to penanganan secara manual atau mekanis. Okay, we can say this. Kalau pakai komputer berarti kita menangani secara manual. Secara manual it means we use our hands, we use part of our body, ya, we use our limbs, our bagian-bagian dari tubuh kita pakai. Kita harus pakai bagaimana memposisikan kepala kita, bagaimana memposisikan. Itu akan that's what we are going to discuss, ya, next, ya. Okay, next is about understand the definition of ergonomics, ya. Sasaran dari pelatihan ini adalah you will understand the definition of ergonomics, ya. Mengerti definisi dari ergonomics. And the next, understand the primary causes of cumulative trauma disorder. Ya, mengerti dengan CTD ini. The next is you understand ways to prevent cumulative trauma disorder. Ya, the next is you will learn about PC workstation. Ya, PC ini komputer, ya, personal komputer, ya. PC that means personal computer, workstation, accessories to reduce computer work stress. Ya. So you will learn, belajar tentang posisi memposisikan diri sendiri, ya. That's memposisikan diri sendiri terhadap penggunaan personal komputer dan sikap-sikap yang harus mengurangi tekanan kerja. Okay, I think you will understand what I am saying, what I am talking about. Pelatihan dasar mengurangi dan melepaskan ketegangan dari ergonomis, ya, dari kerjaan ini. Ini objektif dari, that's the objective you are going to be familiar in this course. Now let's say, what is ergonomics? Ergonomics is the science and practice of designing jobs or workplace to match the capability and limitation of the human body. Okay, now let me put in bahasa Indonesia. Ergonomics adalah suatu ilmu, ya, dan praktek kerja. Dalam prakteknya mendesain itu maksudnya merancang pekerjaan atau tempat kerja cocok dengan, sesuai dengan capabilities, it means kemampuan, dan limitation, it means keterbatasan dari tubuh manusia. Okay, I hope you get the meanings of this ergonomic. Okay. Number 3. Three benefits of ergonomics include, safe job with fewer injury, ya, lebih aman bekerja dengan sedikit cederanya. Increase efficiency and productivity, of course, ya, jadi akan meningkatkan efisiensi and productivity. Improve quality and fewer errors, akan meningkatkan mutu dan sedikit kerusakan-kerusakan, dan improve moral. So this is the position. So this girl station, this kind of position, yeah. This is safe, yeah, safe. Everything is there. Everything is measurable. Semuanya itu terukur, ya. Every position is measurable. That's the main point, ya. Measurable, terukur semua. Okay, ergonomic is a way to work smarter. Jadi ergonomic ini adalah bekerja kita lebih pintar. Kita menjadi lebih pintar seharusnya. Not harder by designing of tools. Jadi bukan lebih parah kerjanya. Yaitu dengan apa? Designing tools. Kita mendesain tool itu merancang bagaimana peralatan, equipment, ya, atau workstation. Workstation apa? Bagaimana duduk Anda, kursi Anda, bagaimana Anda menghadapinya, bagaimana meja Anda, bagaimana lingkungan Anda, bagaimana so many things that you have to consider. Banyak hal-hal yang harus Anda pertimbangkan. And test, termasuk tugas, to fit the job to the worker. Jadi semua itu dibenahin, diperbaiki, dirancang, dibuat, gitu kan, to fit the job to the worker, supaya pekerjaan itu cocok untuk pekerja. Dia tidak merasa pegal, tidak merasa punggungnya. So, jadi bukan jadi jangan manusia memaksakan diri sesuai tuntutan pekerjaan. Jadi pekerjaannya harus dirubah, dibenarin, dirancang, digituin macam-macam supaya sesuai dengan capability of workers, kemampuan dari seorang pekerja. Ya. Ini banyak. If you think there must be a lot of things to know about this, ya. Suatu apa? Yaitu layout, types, and control and display. Susunan, kendali, pajangan, ya, anything like that, ya. This can be very important, very crucial. And then lighting, temperature, pencahayaan, suhu ruangan, ya. So this part of ergonomics, ya. Proses. What do you mean with this process? Ini ketinggian, ya, terlalu tinggi, ya. And then you have to reach, menjangkau, mencapai, menjangkau. And then weight. Weight ini hal yang berat. Terlalu berat untuk Anda yang beratnya hanya cuma 60 kilo, diangkat 40 kilo. Ya, there's something wrong. Ya. Jadi hal-hal ini pemaksaan, ya, that can be very dangerous. You have to avoid that. Harus menghindarin. Okay, if we put in another sentence, fit the job to the worker, not the worker to the job. Ya, just as simple as that. Sesuaikan pekerjaan ke pekerja, bukan pekerjaan ke pekerja. Yeah, it sounds a little bit complicated, but I believe you understand what I mean. Yeah, I believe, saya percaya you understand what is written in this kind of slide. Okay, now this part of this, yeah, this is what happened to your carpal or to your hands, you know, something like this. And I myself, I myself experience, telah mengalami hal-hal yang begini, ya. And then I have to massage my hand, give some lotion or something like that, and then the next time I try to be careful to not to get hurt, not to get injured, tidak menjadi apa? Menjadi cedera, merasa sakit. So we call this like carpal tunnel syndrome. How this position wrong, wrong. Jangan dipaksakan. Ini wrong, salah, and then you will feel the pain, the pain, something like this. So do something like this, right? Lurus ini nih. So you have to be familiar with this. You have to get used to this kind of hand position facing the computer. Jadi carpal tunnel syndrome exercise, you have to do some exercise, latihan ini, active range, active range, this one, motion and active range of motion, finger exercise. You can do this kind of exercise that will help you. I myself experienced it. And then there is stretch. How your wrist itu pergelangan tangan, stretch itu stretch, so itu tendon glides, so grip strengthening, something that you grip, kadang-kadang karet, model gitu, wrist extension, something like this. So all of this is kind of exercise, for carpal injury. So next is carpal tunnel syndrome, something like this. This wrong happen, something like, this is maybe the bigger size of this one. Okay, the next cumulative trauma disorder, we call that, CTDS. Okay, this progress debilitating injuries. Debilitating injuries, it means rasa sakit, bertambah lama tambah rasa sakit, tambah sakit, unless you get some ointment or I don't know what you call this, minyak urut, cepat dipasangkan. You feel something painful on your between your head and shoulder, like this. I experienced this. I don't know if you did or not, but I experienced this already. And the next is fatigue related, overuse, accelerated joint aging. Jadi terlalu memaksakan, overuse, fatigue related, kecapean, berlebihan. So itu heralded discomfort. You feel tidak nyaman, tidak discomfort, tidak nyaman, kelebihan. Suatu predictable for population from occupational risk factor. Jadi diperkirakan hal-hal begini kalau sering. So to preventable by proactive intervention. Okay, including this, something cause this painful in on part of your body, the painful on part of your body. The next, we call this cumulative trauma disorder, ya, repetitive strain injury, atau cumulative trauma disorder, ya. Ya, atau cumulative trauma disorder adalah semacam penyakit yang disebabkan penggunaan suatu alat dalam jangka waktu yang cukup lama. Oke, repetitive action yaitu kerjaan yang berulang-ulang, ya. You must take a break. You must take a break. Ya, kerjaan berulang-ulang contohnya something that's very easy. When I work for a cement factory, cement manufacturer, ya, pengangkatan kantong semen diangkat dari pengisian ke konveyor. So the man has to shift, what do you call that? Turn, turn from left to right, left to right, left to right. Maybe in every 10 seconds, yeah, or 15 seconds. I forgot. Yeah, about 4 times. 4 times in a minute. Yeah. It means 4 bags of cement, 50 kilogram. Yeah, 50 kilogram of bag of cement. Yeah. So the guy has to, or the worker has to lift the cement, the cement in the bag. Yeah, that's been already prepared completely, prepared to be exported, to be transferred by conveyor belt to the ship. Okay, that's repetitive action. Yeah, repetitive action juga happen in pabrik rokok. So we have to apply. We have to draft SOP, standard operating procedure. Yeah. So in standard operating procedure, it stated clearly the man must be replaced every 40 minutes. Yeah, before we make this SOP, yeah, standard operating procedure, yeah, the man must work by doing this repetitive action, ya, kerja berulang-ulang nih, maybe 3 hours or 4 hours, ya, starting in the morning until lunchtime, and then we drafted the SOP saying after 40 minutes he must be replaced by someone fresh, someone else that is still fresh. Itu the SOP-nya begitu, ya. As I said to you from the beginning, yeah, any process, any job, any work must have the SOP. Okay. Now that's because the cumulative trauma disorder, again, this is just to show you, yeah, what happened to your limb, what happened to your hands, yeah. This synovial sheath and tendon, carpal ligament, yeah, something like that. Why worry? Why you have to worry about? Kenapa kita harus khawatir? Because, ya, ini dihitung-hitung duitnya nih. Ya, this material in before 2000, ya, dihitung duitnya. If someone, ya, experience painful on his or her hands, ya, so he cannot or she cannot keep continuing to work, so they must take a rest. Yeah, if they take a rest, if the worker take a rest during working hours, it means lose money. It means lost worker days case. So this is serious matter in out there in the other country. Yeah, in Indonesia maybe not so serious because it seems to me, yeah, if you are working or not working, it's not really different. If you know what I mean, ya. Di Indonesia ini kadang-kadang, ini pengalaman saya, ya, just believe me, ya. Kadang-kadang di Indonesia ini kita tidak terlalu bisa melihat apakah orang ini sedang kerja atau tidak kerja, ya. But kalau di Australia, khususnya spesially ya. If you come to work only 2 hours a day, ya, you will be paid 2 hours a day, ya, 2 hours atau 4 hours a day. Kalau 4 hours a day bekerja, 4 jam kerjanya satu hari, itu sudah bagus itu pekerjaannya. Maksudnya duitnya sudah banyak gitu. But during these 4 hours or during these 2 hours, you never touch your handphone. No, never. Do not try to touch your handphone. If you are working 2 hours, it means you have to standard, working, productivity high. Ya. Tapi di Indonesia tidak bisa kita lihat dengan jelas. Apakah orang ini bekerja produktif atau tidak? Ya, karena hampir sama aja semuanya. I think you know what I mean, right? It's nothing to do with you. I think you are different because you are, most of you in this Zoom must be a good person, good workers. But you have to believe me. Oke, jadi biaya dari sakit ini bisa 1,8 juta tiap tahun. Annual lost worker days, lost time accident, ya, lost time accident case. This in 1997, ya. Tidak mengalami kepuasan, ya. Up 600% over last 11 years, ya. Dan 20 billion total injury cost year and average. Mungkin Indonesia tidak terlalu dihitung atau nobody interested to menghitung ini. Saya yakin itu ya. Kita gitulah. More lost work days for average 30 days for a carpal itu aja. Jadi carpal tunnel injuries ini cedera yang berhubungan dengan komputer, dengan tangan, dengan apa namanya nih, dengan tangan ya, dengan okay. Yeah, that's the problem, you know. We cannot bahasa Indonesia cannot be used to translate this terms of ergonomic hazard. So that's why I decide why don't we explain in bahasa English, in English, and then I will translate to bahasa Indonesia, you know, just like what we are doing now, seperti yang kita lakukan sekarang. Oke, jadi sebelum tahun 2000 ya, saya simpulkan aja. So I make the conclusion from this statement, ya. Kenapa kita harus worry, harus khawatir? Because ya sebelum 2000 kerugian mencapai angka fantastik akibat kehilangnya hari kerja berupa lost time accident, akibat cedera yang diderita pekerja. From this computer ergonomics. Okay? I don't know, maybe for the next years in Indonesia, yeah, they will try to monitor, they will try to record the one who are not productive during the working hours. I don't know, maybe I leave it to you young people. MS, there's injury data. MS, yeah. MS 6,000 MS days required time off from work. Yeah. Women suffer from more ergonomic injuries due to having job requiring more heavy lifting, repetitive tasks, and work awkward posture. Ya, awkward posture itu posisi-posisi yang membuat badan kita menderita, gitu, ya, tidak nyaman. Itu repetitive task sama dengan repetitive action. Atau mengangkat-angkat sesuatu yang berat, heavy lifting. Ya. Umumnya wanita sering mengalami cedera dengan sebab-sebab ini. Suatu 70% of carpal tunnel, ya, ini carpal tunnel, ya. Okay, 62% is tendonitis, ya, the same tendonitis. This tendonitis, ya, tendonitis, carpal. Kalau kita mungkin kita satukan aja, berarti tangan kita yang sakit, tidak ada bedanya. But they differentiate this. Mereka membedakan ini, ya. ada 70% of carpal tunnel, and then 62% of tendonitis. Yeah, something like this one. Yeah, I think maybe that's what we are going to understand. Now, Carcos. Now, this is a kind of what we call this. Carcos is partially sebagian biaya pembuatan mobil, ya, akibat pain in the back. Ya, why pain in the back? Because the way they design tempat duduk di mobil, sopir khususnya, ya, karena tidak bagus, maka di bagian, ya, this according to Dr. E.W. Simmons, President of the American Back Society, ya, American Back Society, medical costs related to back injury can add up to $1,800 to the price of every car made in Detroit. Ya, Detroit itu terkenal pabrik mobil di sini, ya, Detroit di Amerika. Dan akan disimpulkannya apa oleh presiden dari American Back Society ini, bahwa tiap-tiap mobil yang dibikin itu ada $1.800 harga yang harus dibayar, yang menyebabkan kena desain atau kena back injury ini dari sopir yang belakangnya duduk rusak. Ya, ini Ministry of the American Society, biaya medis berhubungan dengan sakit punggung bisa menambah setiap harga mobil yang dibuat di Detroit sebanyak $1.800. Okay, that's what they mean with this. Yeah, the seriousness of back injuries. This is part of this ergonomic hazard. Yeah. The next, CTD injury factor. Lesion to tendons of the neck and back, shoulder, arm, fist. Ya, suatu primary causes, repetitive movement. Jadi injury, ya, faktor injury dari apa tadi itu, CTD tadi, ya, I forgot. Lesion to tendon of the neck, back, shoulder, arm, wrist, or hand. Ya, bahu, lengan, pergelangan tangan, dan tangan, ya, yang ada. Jadi primary cause-nya apa? Penyebab utamanya apa? Primary causes yaitu repetitive movement over long period of time. Gerakan yang berulang-ulang dan dilakukan berlama-lama, gitu, ya. Oke, berikut awkward posture, canggung, gerakan atau posisi yang canggung dari tubuh kita, ya. Suatu use of excessive force. Kita memaksakan tenaga, ya. Overexertion itu memaksakan tenaga. Kita sebenarnya mampu cuma ngangkat sepertiga dari berat badan, ya, kalau tidak salah saya, ya. If your weight is about 60 kg, so you are okay to lift 20 kg, but with the right SOP, ya. Jadi kalau 60 kg berat Anda boleh mengangkat sepertiga dari berat badan Anda, ya, berarti 20 kg, but you have to employ, harus menerapkan atau melaksanakan with the right SOP. Jadi SOP manual handling, ya. SOP manual handling. Ya, use excessive force ini sangat memaksakan tenaga, gitu. Ya. Oke. Jadi cumulative trauma disorder, ya. Cumulative trauma disorder sifatnya itu kumulatif, ya. Kumulatif itu apa? Occurring gradually over period of week or months or year. Jadi meningkat, rasa sakitnya itu meningkat, bertambah-tambah, meningkat selama mingguan atau bulanan ataupun tahunan. Kumulatif sifatnya, kumulatif. Trauma is bodily injury to nerves, ya. Sakit, cedera tubuh terhadap sistem saraf, tisus, tendon. Disorder physical ailment or abnormal condition. Okay. Okay, this is the right position. You have to understand, ya. Jadi ingat, ya, I like to remind you, in a good company with a good safety practitioner, with a good safety supervisor or safety manager, every 1 month, ya, they make a program to do inspection, ya, to do inspection in regard of this computer ergonomics. Yeah. So I think by referring to this drawing, yeah, how many it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9, ya. You can draft, Anda bisa membuat atau menulis draft a checklist. Ya. You have to have this kind of checklist. Ya, ini tergantung dari orang safety-nya, kalau paham dia sudah. Ya, if any of you, if any of you are safety minded or safety practitioner, ya, in this session, bisa dibuat, ya, checklist untuk memastikan orang yang bekerja di komputer, ya, comply with the right SOP, ya, the right standard of how to work by using the computer, ya. Misalnya head up. Dibuat daftar, mungkin ada 3 pertanyaan atau 3 tentang kepala. Bagaimana harus memposisikan kepalanya head up. Then shoulder relax. Back erect. And then by using this checklist, you have to approach, you have to approach the one who is working by using the computer. Yeah. So you know what I mean, right? So because so begini, di perusahaan yang of course a very good company, ya, very good company with this kind of we call this safety program, they must do inspection regularly, because doing inspection is part of the annual plan program of safety, ya, annual plan program of safety. Jadi inspection itu can be many inspection, ya, maybe fire inspection, maybe housekeeping inspection, maybe PPE inspection, ya, personal protective equipment inspection atau APD inspection, maybe fire, maybe electric, maybe including this ergonomic computer ergonomics inspection. Yeah. So every month, one of the boss or the safety man can make a list atau can draft a list to carry out this kind of inspection. So what's the advantage of inspection? Yeah. Luckily, we are not in the class of face-to-face. So kalau in the class of face-to-face, bila di kelas yang berhadapan, ya habis saya pertanyaan. Mungkin Anda kalang kabut dengan pertanyaan-pertanyaan saya. That's the way how I carry out a training in the class. Ya. Ini, this is the effort atau di usaha untuk to comply with this computer ergonomics issue, ya. So didesain. So, kembali lagi cerita tadi. Jadi ada usaha kita mendesain sesuatu alat sehingga kita fit, ya, in accordance with this body, sesuai dengan diri kita gitu. Jadi kita akan nyaman duduk di sini menggunakan alat ini. Okay, so I think you grab my attention. Maksudnya you grab Anda akan paham dengan apa yang saya maksud. What I mean, right? Ini natural posture dari seseorang, ya. Natural posture, it mean posisi atau posturnya yang netral, yang aman. Like this one, ya. Feet supported, wrist straight, elbow at sides, shoulder relaxed, low back supported, and head level. Yeah. This part of what you have to observe, parts of what you have to inspect, doing inspection. So back to what I asked you, what's the purpose of doing inspection? Ada yang bisa jawab?
Ada,
What is
silakan
the purpose of
yang
doing
ingin menjawab.
Apa tujuan dari melakukan inspection? Tadi kan saya bicara mungkin fire inspection, mungkin computer ergonomics inspection, mungkin electrical inspection, mungkin housekeeping inspection, mungkin juga environmental inspection. Now, the question is, what is the purpose of inspection? Ada yang bisa jawab?
Silakan yang ingin menjawab purpose of inspection, Pak ya.
Yeah,
Silakan.
what's the purpose of inspection?
Ya, silakan. Bagi yang ingin menjawab mungkin biar lebih interaktif juga webinar kita kali ini.
Iya.
Sambil Pak Hirman sambil meregangkan dulu biar tidak terlalu tegang, sudah 1 jam.
Yeah, that's okay. What Mas Asif said,
Yeah.
that is part of.
Okay.
This is part taking breaks ya. Taking break dalam ergonomis ini itu bagian dari kontrol terhadap the risky hazard of computer ergonomics. Ya, take breaks. At least 45 minutes, every 45 minutes you take breaks. Okay, no question. Ada yang menjawab? Because we have 18 participants.
Siapa yang bisa menjawab tadi? Silakan. Ada yang bisa menjawab?
Ya, apa gunanya
pertanyaan inspection ya?
Ya, apa gunanya inspection? Tujuannya? Oke.
Tidak mungkin
to make everything run well, sir.
Apa yang pardon?
Everything done run well, and then yes, just everything run well.
Okay.
Sure.
I think you are right, but unlucky, sayangnya, unfortunately, sayangnya, you explain in the backward. Ya, backward itu terbalik menjelaskannya. The purpose of this inspection is to identify hazard. Yeah, because by inspection, by doing inspection, you will find out something is not on the right order, not on the right place, atau not on the right way. Ya, jadi inspection itu adalah usaha untuk mengenali bahaya yang tersembunyi, ya lah, supaya kita bisa memperbaikinya. Ya, itu tujuan Anda.
It's mean assessment, Pak.
Right, just like assessment. Nah, ya, if you find out the hazard, ya, setelah di inspection, for instance, ya, ini fire inspection atau electrical inspection, ya, and then you found out one item, the connectivity of the cable is very very bad, and then there is an indication, ada indikasi it's been burned, hangus, kelihatan hangus, ada hubungan kabelnya sudah hangus sedikit gitu. So you found something apa? Hazardous, berbahaya, ya. So you have to fix that. Okay, itu for electric. But for housekeeping, kebersihan dan kerapian, you have to do inspection in all area where you are responsible. Melakukan di seluruh area di mana Anda bertanggung jawab for housekeeping inspection, kebersihan dan kerapian. And then you found out some place are not tidy, are not clean, or loitering with the garbage or something like that. Kotor, berserakan ini. So you found that it's hazard. Yeah. And then you put this in your checklist. And then someone must take action to do corrective action, untuk membersihkannya. Okay, the conclusion is inspection is used, the purpose of inspection is our way to identify hazard. Ya, hazard, ya. Hazard itu bisa berarti apa? Something are not comply to standard. Sesuatu yang tidak memenuhi standar. Itu menjadi hazard, sudah itu bahaya. Okay. So ergonomic, you see, so how they make something like, for instance, like this one, yeah, the posture of this guy, yeah, is not good, but this one is okay. This one is okay. You see that the elbows, elbow is 90 square, 90 degrees square, 90 degree, yeah, 90 degrees. This one. Causes of cumulative trauma disorder. Ya, penyebab dari cumulative trauma disorder. Usually it's caused by a combination of risk factors. Again, yeah, repetitive motion that is making the same motion over and over, like hammering a nail. Ya, gerakan yang berulang-ulang kayak memukul paku. Motion using force like pulling, atau menggunakan gerakan menarik sesuatu dengan kuat, ya, atau mendorong, atau mengangkat, atau gripping itu mencengkeram, ya, dengan kuat, melebihin, using force like pulling. Using force, it means Anda menggunakan force, tenaga berlebihan, ya, dalam masalah pulling, pushing, lifting, atau gripping. Awkward posture, it means gerakan yang kaku, yang kaku, ya, gitu. Awkward itu kaku, apa namanya ini, janggal, ya. Posture, awkward. Body position that are unnatural. Jadi posisi tubuh yang tidak natural, tidak posisi yang resting, tidak nyaman, ya. Mungkin membongkok, mungkin posisi yang tidak nyaman, itu aja. Atau the next is holding the same body position without moving or resting for long period. Jadi mempertahankan posisi kita berlama-lama seperti itu, ya, tanpa merubahnya posisi kita, itu tidak sehat. Itu penting, tidak sehat. Resting for long periods. Mechanical compression itu penekanan terhadap bagian tubuh, kulit atau tangan, atau bagian-bagian pinggir dari sesuatu yang keras. Seperti light tools, ya. Light tools itu apa? Alat-alat penggunaan, alat-alat perkakas kerja, objek that press against the palm, yang tergantung dengan, yang tertekan pada palm. Palmnya apa? Tangan ini, telapak tangan, ya. Palm telapak tangan. Okay. Yeah. That's why in the class I used to show the participant. For instance, like an hammer, you know, hammer. We can say the handle of hammer, it must be nicely, easily to grab, you know. Kayak tangkai palu misalnya, kan enggak dibuat besar kan, tapi dibuat nyaman untuk dipegang. Itu masalah dengan ergonomis juga. Fast movement of body parts like swinging or your arm. Jadi gerakan-gerakan yang terlalu cepat, ya, terlalu cepat dari bagian body, bagian badan, seperti berputar tangan kita, jari tangan kita itu. Suatu vibration, getaran, vibration, especially in cold condition, ya, khususnya di daerah yang di kondisi yang dingin, like using vibrating hand tools. Itu bagian dari cumulative trauma disorder. Mental stress can cause muscles to tighten and restrict blood flow. Jadi kalau mental stress, ini bisa menyebabkan muscle to mengencang, ya, bagian otot kita jadi mengencang dan menahan aliran darah. Jadi not enough recovery time with overuse like rest break or days off. This also increase the other cumulative trauma disorder. Ya, jadi tidak cukup waktu untuk recovery time. Recovery time it means waktu jeda, ya, waktu jeda, ya, dengan kelebihan kurangnya istirahat, rest breaks or days off. Ya, according to the standard, ya, someone who is using computer, staring atau looking at a screen of this computer not allowed to be more than 45 minutes. So you must take 15 minutes to see some other objects. Jadi dibuat tuh ketentuannya di perusahaan, tentu ya perusahaan yang bagus ya, perusahaan yang care about the safety of the man, bahwa bekerja di komputer setelah 45 menit dia harus mengerjakan yang lain, atau dia istirahat melihat 15 menit dia melihat tempat-tempat lain ya yang hijau-hijau lebih bagus ya. Thus some companies ya has made this a kind of standard, telah membuat ini sebentuk standar, so everybody must follow that. So the inspection will make this followed by everybody using computer. Jadi recovery time, you need recovery time. That's all. Yeah. Yeah. Overuse like rest breaks or days off. This also increase other. Okay, that's what more or less just like what it. Jadi apa tadi? Cumulative trauma disorder, which usually affect the arm and hand. Jadi akan mempengaruhi lengan dan tangan. Ya. Kunyu carpal tunnel could cause shoulder pain. Carpal tunnel syndrome, Uris tendonitis, ya pergelangan tangan, ya. Tempat arloji itu ya tendonitis. Suatu median nerve is compressed at the wrist. Oke, jadi di sini aja. Saya pernah ngalamin ini. Ulnar nerves entrapment, epicondylitis elbow, yeah, something like this. Shoulder tendonitis, hand-arm vibration syndrome. Jadi CTD risk control ini kontrol posture, ya, posture yang harus. Jadi harus netral dan comfortable. Wrist straight, shoulder relax with elbow close to body, ya. Head and shoulder back in vertical alignment. Jadi shoulder relax, jadi bahu tuh harus relax dengan elbow, dengan siku kita menempel ke tubuh. Jadi tidak mengembang terus ya, tapi menempel ke tubuh, santai gitu. Head, shoulder, and back in vertical alignment. Jadi kepala, bahu, punggung, ya punggung, belakang punggung harus in vertical alignment, dalam posisi yang lurus, ya, tidak memble gitu, tidak apa namanya. So two frequent breaks when bend posture can be avoided. Harus melakukan breaks itu istirahat, stop sebentar ya, stop sebentar dengan sering kalau kita menggunakan, kalau membongkok itu tidak bisa dihindarin ya. Jadi ergonomic alignment itu maksudnya apa ini ya, bagaimana kita memegang tools straight ya, tidak memaksakan dari tangan. Now look how this drawing ya, to screen, matanya melihat screen, melihat shoulder posisinya ini semua. And look this. Ya. Kalau kita mungkin apa gunanya ini? Ya, this interesting, you know. Ada khusus dibuat tempat kaki yang sebelah, nanti digantinya sebelah kanan lagi nanti diganti lagi sebelah kiri. That's the way how to avoid. Itu cara untuk menghindarin tiredness itu kecapean, ya. That's normal ya, kalau kita berdiri, sedangkan di sana itu tidak ada alat yang seperti ini, di lantai yang licin, tapi lama kita berdiri mendengar pidato, ya. That's normal. Sometimes you shift your weight. Anda pindahkan berat badan Anda, ya. You shift your weight from the left legs to the right legs. And then the next you pindahkan lagi dari kaki kanan ke kaki kiri, berat badan Anda, ya. I think you have done that frequently. Saya rasa Anda telah melakukan itu secara sering. Saya melakukan itu. Kalau saya berdiri tidak ada tempat untuk menaikkan kaki saya, maka saya cenderung akan memindahkan berat badan saya ke kaki kiri. Setelah itu tidak lama nanti pindah lagi dia ke kanan, dipindahkan lagi ke kanan, ke kiri, ke kanan. Ini malahan disarankan ke orang-orang itu ya. Kalau kita who care, kalau kita nggak ada yang mempedulikan itu, ya. That's the problem. That's the difference. Ya. That's the difference. I just want to share my experience with you because I've been to Australia maybe 9 times. Saya sudah ke Australia itu mungkin 6, 9, 8 kali mungkin 6, 9 kali ke Australia saya. Sejak the first time 1973 after visiting Singapore. Setelah mengunjungi Singapura, saya langsung ke Australia. And then I learn a lot. Yeah. I learn a lot. That's all. Carpal tunnel syndrome, yeah, something like that. Occurs with repetitive motion and then incident up to 50% certain industry and natural. Good news. Nah, sekarang cenderung katanya have dropped about 30% since 1990, which most attribute to strong workplace ergonomic program. That's what we have mentioned earlier ya. Ini yang sudah kita singgung tadi, bagaimana program ergonomic program ini dibuat inspection checklistnya, dan Anda sebagai orang safety melakukan sekali sebulan inspection terhadap posisi duduk, bagaimana memposisikan, how they position themselves in the front of computer. Jadi cenderung sudah karena sudah mulai diterapkan workplace ergonomic program. Jadi ini tidak khusus untuk komputer, tapi ergonomic program itu tentu akan mengcover ya, maybe in warehouse, maybe in logistic department, maybe in transportation, maybe every. Kalau perlu tempat-tempat duduk dari mobil-mobil, ya, there must be the aspect of ergonomic. Jadi berikut CTD risk control repetition, use automatic tool, ya, that's the way how to control that. Kita harus menggunakan alat-alat yang otomatis, electrical, ya, untuk screw atau bolt tightening, eliminate unnecessary task, movement by redesigning maintenance procedure and workstation. Ya, this workstation, posisi ini workstation ini. Take short frequent break, dan ambil istirahat sedikit langsung. Frequent break ini istirahat sejenak dan meluruskan body ini semua. Next, alternate task and process to use different muscle groups. Good ergonomic design of tools, process, and furniture. Jadi desain rancangan dari alat yang good ergonomics ya, process and furniture does improve personal. Ya, improve personal meningkatkan pribadi ya, comfort ya, kenyamanan, health, kesehatan, moral, productivity, and readiness, kesiapan. Individual effort as part of workshop team is the greatest means of identifying improving workplace economic issues. It's critical to seek prompt medical aid for symptoms of economic. Jadi kritis ya untuk mendapatkan bantuan cepat medical aid untuk gejala-gejala dari economic stress, dari apa nih yang diakibatkan dari ergonomic komputer. Jadi routine PC user define as spending 20 hours more per week. Ya. Biasanya routine PC user ini, pengguna personal komputer ini, menetapkan kira-kira 20 jam seminggu untuk kerja di komputer. Ini sudah termasuk yang serius dan perlu diperhatikan. Oke, ini sama dengan tadi NIOSH. NIOSH ini National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. Ya, in America, studies have not indicated a radiation hazard nor pregnancy risk from. Jadi di sini dijelaskan ya, it's not really indikasi, ada indikasi keterhubungan antara tidak ada keterhubungan orang yang hamil dengan penggunaan personal komputer. Oke, jadi tidak ada yang perlu dan hubungannya dengan masalah-masalah orang yang hamil. Jadi fixed split, natural keyboard, natural keyboard ini perlu dipahami juga bahwa ada yang jenisnya itu ada fixed split, bisa terpisah, adjustable split, dan sculpture. Ini pilihan ya. I know what you to choose. Saya yakin Anda tahu apa yang dipilih. Jadi key layout design change, perubahan-perubahan rancangan dari key layout ya, change mempunyai increase comfort sampai 81% dari user. Improve posture. Posture kita akan meningkat, reduce muscle activity. Ya, mengurangi kegiatan otot kita. Kegiatan otot berlebihan itulah yang membuat kita sakit. Lower carpal tunnel pressure in lab setting. Obtain primarily to alleviate an injury. Jadi sekarang berikut any question? Ada pertanyaan?
Silakan dari peserta yang ingin bertanya. Sepertinya tidak ada, Pak. Oke, kalau nggak ada mungkin silakan Mr. Herman to go on.
This is about to finish now. So foam doesn't break down. Avoid head plastic type. Jadi ini bantalan wrist rest, yaitu wrist itu kan apa namanya ini? Bantalan dari pergelangan tangan ya. Jangan dipaksakan, jadi harus kita cari jalannya. Most appropriate is to rest hand during pause in typing. Learn to type correctly with a flat wrist first. Ya, bagaimana memposisikan tangan, ada bantalannya gitu. Like this one, khusus. Ya. Saya belum pernah saya lihat seserius ini orang menaruh ini di sini. Ya. Saya sudah lihat di kantor-kantor. Ya, kayak gini. Ya, khusus untuk mengganjal your wrist itu ya apa? Pergelangan tangan. Ya ini, ganjal nih. Khusus ini. Dan apa juga kursi, ya adjustable back height bisa di adjust, bisa di style, adjustable armrest ya untuk istirahat tangannya khusus bisa di adjust. And then required by OPNAV 5100 safety instruction ya sesuai standar ini. Chair on left not ergonomically designed. Ya yang ini kayak gini nih. Ya, enggak sesuai apa. Jadi yang ergonomically design, ya just something like this, ya, so complicated, ya, looks like must be very expensive, ya. Coba lihat mana. Termasuk pointing device atau mouse ya kita bilang ya, ini juga ada yang roller, ada yang ini scrolling mouse, ya. Bagaimana ini? Unsatisfaction PC station design. Jadi ini yang tidak memuaskan, unsatisfaction PC station design. Ya, jadi maksudnya jangan ditiru. Ya, for instance, like chairs, you know, chair is not good. Chair is not good. It's not for the office. Ini station, unsatisfaction. Ini keyboard tray. Model komputer workstation juga yang penting di mana diposisikan. Corner desk units to position monitor directly in front of employee. This one good. Yeah, how come you see the what do you call the footrest? Ya, the footrest. Ya, posisinya bagaimana? Begitu penting ya. Okay, any question?
Oke. Mungkin silakan bagi peserta yang ingin bertanya mengenai ergonomik ini, terutama di spesifikasinya sebenarnya lebih ke penggunaan komputer, Pak ya.
Ya,
Ya, silakan para peserta yang ingin bertanya tentang hal ini. Mungkin bukan hanya tentang penggunaan komputer saja, mungkin penggunaan alat-alat lain yang biasa Anda gunakan mungkin bisa ditanyakan di sini. Silakan. Ada pertanyaan?
Pak Herman,
Atau
ya.
silakan.
what is the impact of the ergonomic wrong if we are doing every day and 1 year, 2 year, until maybe 10 years in the wrong position? What's the impact for our body?
Okay, that's
Thank you.
good. That's good question. Yeah. There will be a kind of deformation to your body. Yeah. Maybe later on when you reach 60 years, or maybe before 60 years, 50, you will look bend, bongkok. Lihat orang bongkok nggak?
Yes.
So itu sometimes your hands are like Almiser, I don't know what you call that, ya, bergetar tangannya, ya, and then
Tremor, I mean.
yeah, that will affect that, and you feel numbness itu kebal, ya, when you are about 50 years, and the problem, yeah, this from the literature I read the literature, the problem, this kind of painful, sakit rasa ini, ya, like cumulative trauma disorder or something like that, ya, itu terasa setelah umurnya masuk pensiun. Orang pensiun baru merasakan itu. Saya pernah baca di jurnal untuk Europe, ya, Europe Journal, dengan masalah masalah ergonomics ini, itu klaim asuransi, ya, sehingga ada pihak asuransi yang bangkrut karena karyawan dia setelah pensiun baru terasa penyakit itu, atau dipelajari oleh dokter, ya, ini kena ini kerjanya gini. Apa dasarnya? What's the basic they can claim the company sehingga perusahaan asuransi bisa bangkrut? Ya, what's the reason? There is no training applied to the employees, because training employees in regard of safety, that's a must, ya. Ada itu aturannya di Undang-Undang 1970, ada itu. Jadi ada zamannya di Eropa, ya, asuransi itu terpaksa membayar tuntutan karena mereka karyawan-karyawan yang sudah pensiun itu baru terasa penyakit dan selama kerja tidak pernah diberikan pelatihan. Ada yang bangkrut itu asuransi. Tapi di Indonesia, ya, just unfortunately in Indonesia nobody care about it. Yeah, that's the problem, Pak Ud.
Yes.
Maybe in the next few years this will happen in Indonesia. So we must be prepared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the insurance company has to force the company to menerapkan the ergonomics like that.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Maybe this good. This is a good opportunity for you, Pak Ud. In Australia, an insurance company who has the initiative to run safety training for the companies, yeah, and the insurance company pay the trainer, pay the PJK 3 to run the training, pelatihan safety training for all the company in that area. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I think you can do this, Pak Ud. Yeah.
I will try. I will to menawarkan to the insurance company. Because in Indonesia, the other hand, the insurance company is difficult to get the client in the company, the other company, and the other hand, the company has to menerapkan the HSA or ergonomic like that. Is the two kind of problem is each other
Like BPJS.
bertolak belakang.
Yeah. BPJS complain too high claims from the accident, the cause of accident, you know, BPJS, because that's easily to find out the information, you know, from BPJS. So if you like to approach BPJS, why don't you BPJS organize a training in safety for free for all companies in the area in Jakarta or in anywhere else. They don't understand. In Australia in 1973 di tahun 73 saya sudah tahu, sudah biasa itu. Jadi yang melakukan training itu adalah pihak asuransi. In Indonesia we have BPJS, right? Klaim biaya kecelakaan ya BPJS, coba lihat. Fantastik harganya.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
so
this,
that's why in Indonesia, there are so many pensions just 2 years from he or she pension, mereka pada sakit.
Oh iya, itu
and
one more information, when I retire, retire 5 years after retirement, my medical cost still paid by the company because that's written in apa namanya tuh, ada perburuan itu kan.
PSI.
So after 5 years, setelah 5 tahun pensiun, selama 5 tahun itu kalau ada sakit apa gini-gini masih dibayar oleh perusahaan. That's happened to me. I used to work for Indocement. Indocement. Yeah. So find out. So for them, in the company, you start asking or question the company about this program.
But not all of the company in Indonesia like that.
No way.
Just the big company like that.
Yeah. So this up to you guys. Oke, Pak Asif, Mas Asif sudah siap?
Ya.
The time is over.
Okay. But if any question from the participant, I please to ask untuk dipersilahkan. Kami persilahkan if any question.
Maybe any more question?
Okay.
That's enough.
You can ask me bahasa Indonesia, no problem.
Okay.
Maybe
this problem is we confused to translate to Indonesia. So that we can understand at all.
Yeah, but I explain in bahasa Indonesia some of them.
So this is we think twice, okay? We think to translate and then things to understand what you say.
Yeah.
But this is a very good program. We can combine and between English and HSA. Yes, the knowledge is HSA is very good, and in English we have to practice English. So in any company, we have to speak English. So if we can speak English, HSA can speak English, he will increase to be a manager or general manager like that.
Yeah, right. You are right.
Yeah, right.
You are right, Pak Uus. Because this for young people, for young people like Pak Pandu, Pak Laurentius, Pak Fajar, Mbak Masliana, Mbak Aufi, Muhammad Isa, and Herman Insinyur Muhammad.
Okay, maybe mungkin this is time for show your video. Jangan-jangan kita hanya bertiga saja nih. Oke,
But I know
silakan.
Pak Laurentius is very diligent. Dia every webinar he always join. Pak
Yeah.
Laurentius Wiratno. Very
That's
good.
Oke.
That's good for him.
Yes, good for him.
Like learning.
Pak Pandu is so
Yeah.
Pak Pandu, oke.
rajin.
Oke.
Okay, maybe see you next time. Well, maybe take pictures, Mas Asif? No.
Take picture.
Take picture only bertiga.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because the other have
Shy.
not show their picture. Mungkin silakan untuk semua Bapak Ibu sekalian untuk menampilkan
Wajahnya
wajah-wajah
masing-masing.
imut Anda. Silakan. Bu Mas Liana, Pak Rizal.
Wah, Pak Panji
Nah,
keren. Mas
Ini
Liana.
baru kelihatan semua nih. Mr. Laurentius.
Wiratni. Pak
Oke.
Panji di kantor, Pak Panji.
Pak Sidik, Pak Ishak, Pak Herman. Oh, tulisannya di sini ada Pak Herman juga ternyata. Pak
Ya,
Herman Sriono.
Yono.
Ya,
Saudara,
silakan menampilkan, mengaktifkan videonya. Kita akan take picture.
ya.
Oke. Mana nih yang lainnya? Silakan Pak Rizal. Wah, ini jangan-jangan cuman kita hanya beberapa orang ini saja ya. Yang lain gimana?
Oh, banyak tuh Mas Rijal.
Oh
Wah.
iya, oke. Baik. Kita perlihatkan wajah-wajah kita. Kita ini sering kali ketika webinar seperti ini hanya mendengar suaranya saja. Kita tidak tahu siapa yang bicara terkadang. Silakan Pak Fajar, Pak Ishak, Pak Herman Sriono, Pak Muhammad, Pak Faisal. Ya mungkin selain mungkin ada kendala mungkin juga ya di itunya, di apa?
Ya, di kamera.
Kameranya. Oke. Mungkin hanya beberapa orang saja ya, ada satu.
Oh, Pak Ishak Idambean nih di Surabaya nih, Pak Ishak.
Oke. Baik, kita ambil gambar dulu. Silahkan tangannya apa? Menampakkan tangannya, jempolnya ke atas semuanya. Oke. Kita ambil 1, 2, 3. Oke, kita anggap sudah. Oke, terima kasih. Silakan.
Terima kasih, Coach Herman.
Oke.
Terima kasih Pak Herman.
Sama Pak Maud.
Telah membeli
Oke,
ilmunya.
kita tutup dulu ya untuk webinar kita kali ini. Oke, terima kasih atas partisipasinya. Mungkin mohon maaf ini karena agak sedikit delay ya mungkin ya di beberapa peserta. Jadi kurang begitu pas gitu untuk komunikasinya. Oke, terima kasih atas perhatian dan partisipasinya untuk kawan-kawan semua atau para partisipan semua. Sampai ketemu lagi di webinar kami di minggu yang akan datang. Jadi kami mohon maaf apabila ada kesalahan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Tidak begitu didengar ya?
Muhammad Rizal. Bye.
Oke.